Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Rupp Report. I am your host, Tyler Russell, joined by co-host Israel Schill. Today, we are going to be going over the Cardiac Cats. Yes. Kentucky beat LSU, then they then beat number 24 Tennessee. Tonight, they got Texas, and then they will have Ole Miss after that. So, Israel, the Cardiac Cats, I guess they're alive. I guess they're well. They're winning. They're on a, 3-game win streak now. Could make it 4 tonight. I guess we got a gauntlet to go through. Let's just start off with that LSU Mardi Gras miracle rerun, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. That was an incredible game because I feel like, though I don't know about you, but the whole time I felt like there was something in the back of my mind telling me that this game's not over. This game's not over. You know what I mean? Like they could, but I wasn't too optimistic knowing that what we did in the past, obviously, in these situations being down that much at halftime. But the way that they came out and turned around, outscoring them 53-36 in the second half, and that's been the storyline so far for Kentucky the last 10 games-ish is when they do come back and win, it's always these massive second half
runs.
Yeah, these massive second half runs. But now, I think after this, and we'll probably talk about this a little bit more later, but identity.
Yeah.
We have it now. I think this team finally has an identity, being that people are calling them the Cardiac Cats, the Comeback Cats, whatever it is. Now that people start to see that this team has personality, identities, grit, they can actually do these things. It's starting to change people's minds a little bit.
Yeah, no, I'm going to be completely honest to your first point about being optimistic about a good result going into the second half. If you go through my Google search history, one of the first things that's going to come up is Kentucky's largest SEC loss ever.
Yeah,
because that's really where I thought it was going. I don't have it right here, but I'm pretty sure they were down by 15 to 20, or not 15 to 20, around 15 to 17 within the first half of the first half.
Yeah.
So it was kind of just wow. And it was also, this is LSU. And it's in Baton Rouge, but it's not like they're playing at I don't know, Cameron Indoor. It's nothing near that
and
at all.
And it's not like Shaq's on this LSU squad.
Exactly.
You know what
this
I mean?
Is not the big bad LSU.
Yeah,
this is the LSU that was 0-3 in conference play before they played them, 12-4. But no, to your second point, I do think Kentucky has found their identity. And I don't want to be negative at all, but some people, including me, are a little all right, they found their identity, but it's not really a good identity to have. That's one, is that you only play 20 minutes of basketball. That's one part of it. That's the way I look at it. But when you look at the other part of it, it's, if they're only playing 20 minutes of basketball and they're still winning, then who cares?
Exactly.
Who cares how they do it? Yeah. Who cares if they win on a buzzer beater every single game to terrible teams? A win's a win.
A win's a win.
And going forward, you're going to want to see more of that. But listen, tonight when they play Texas, if they go down by 10 at halftime, 15, even 20, every single person in that arena is going to be all right, this thing's not over.
Yeah, I feel like you said, they're going to think it's not over because they've been able to bring them to this point now with these 2 games and other games before where it's all right, we know this team has the grit. And I think that that's a big key thing, is them having the grit and the ability to make these comebacks, because before we were questioning the leadership, we were questioning, do these guys care? Are these guys even playing worth their $22 million roster, however much it costs? But we were questioning all these things, and now a lot of that talk and a lot of that commentary from fans has gotten really quiet, and you're not seeing these problems come through anymore. Especially against Tennessee at TBA. Well, what is it? Food City Center.
We got Thompson Bowling Arena at Food City Center, or the other way around.
Whatever it is, whatever it is. Though, going down there and giving them their last 2. I don't remember the exact stat. It was when leading by a certain amount at halftime to SEC teams, they were undefeated at home or something.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and Kentucky gave them their only 2 losses or whatever.
Kentucky only led for I think 36 seconds in that game.
Yeah, it was a combined 1:47 between the LSU game and the Tennessee game.
Yeah, and that's 2 wins. That's 2-0 in their last 2 games.
Yeah, exactly.
But we'll just, I guess, recap what happened at LSU. You guys know. Trailed 38-22 at halftime, outscored them 53-36 in the second half. Otega-Oweh, game-high 21 points, and Malachi Moreno, the Kentucky kid, doing it himself, that buzzer beater. Colin Chandler threw it up to him. It's kind of just like a
absolute Hail Mary.
Kind of just like a throw it and pray kind of thing.
Yeah.
Malachi mossed him. Got the ball, shot a mid-range, game over.
And
Kentucky wins.
He didn't even look like he was intimidated. He didn't look like he was taking an end of it. That looked like I'm working on the post and I'm about to just take a mid-range. You know what I mean? Just like a typical shot. He took his time, squared away, got the shot off, drained it.
Yeah, and I mean, I did say this like as it happened when I was sitting next. I didn't go to the game, so I was covering it remote from my house. And like my buddies were all like fired up, and I was like, I don't really want to be negative. I can't do it. This great thing just happened, but like if you give Malachi that shot 10 times, he might make it like maybe one more time.
Yeah.
But he made it when it mattered the most.
Yeah, and that's all that matters.
He made it when they needed
Exactly.
it, and that's again, if we go back to the leadership aspect of things, you could say, I mean, technically he did lead them to that win with that buzzer beater, but that's a freshman.
Yeah.
That is literally an 18-year-old.
And he's taken such a big leap this year already.
Such a big leap. And again, going back to leadership, people were talking about Ortega not being a leader, including us. There's some banter on him. I think pretty much 99% of Big Blue Nation did. Everyone knew it. But he game high 21 points. And, if they're amounting all these comeback wins or at least getting close and playing better in the second half, that means there's got to be a talk in the locker room at halftime every single time. And that means that people are leading. They have to step up, because if they weren't, they'd be losing these games. And how about this for the confidence now? It's like, not only can you play anyone, but you've suffered some serious deficits at halftime, and you've come back to win. So for confidence, like, what does that say? That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it really lets these guys know that, like, all right, we're fighting for each other now, and we can prove that we can do whatever we want to do or whatever we need to do to win.
Yeah.
And so I think it just instills such high confidence for them going into the last however many 10 games we have, 15 games left of the year-ish, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Going into those games and this gauntlet schedule they have and this tough conference, especially going into the tournament, knowing that, okay, maybe you're in the Sweet 16 or whatever, you're down 15 at half or however much they were down to Tennessee last year.
Yeah.
And this time you might be able to come back, and it's be like, listen, we've been here before, we've done this, we know we can do it again.
Yep.
And so I think being able to carry that throughout the rest of the season will continue to just add on to that identity that this team has and the grit that they're going to start carrying. And Pope talked about it a little bit earlier this year, but he said that some of these halftime deficits, they would come into the locker room and the guys would be not arguing at each other, but, raising their voices a little bit, and taking accountability, but also holding each other accountable for certain actions. And
there's a big difference in that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But now you see that people are stepping up and owning up to things and coming out and making a difference.
Yeah, no, there's, like what you just said, there's definitely a difference in raising your voice at someone and getting on them for messing up. Not like what the F are you doing? Like, you're going to lose us this effing game. Like, come on. Like, screaming. That's not what you want. But, hey, dude, maybe next time look this way. You could even yell at him when you say that, but look towards him. Look that other way. Like, don't do that. But there's just so many different ways to go about it. And honestly, we weren't behind the scenes. We weren't in the locker room. But I would have guessed that the first half of the season so far was probably the what the F are you doing? Mm-hmm. The second part is now, okay, take a deep breath. Like, let's look this way, let's look this way. And now there's more confidence instilled in it because they were probably doing that and they're getting these results.
Exactly.
So in Knoxville, the Cats got their second ranked win of the season.
Felt so good.
It did, dude. It was
so
great.
nice.
And then the fight after, that was crazy.
That was definitely sparked by Ortega.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He definitely sparked that.
You guys got to
one.
watch that behind the scenes video.
That's
I'm sure you've seen it.
I'm sure.
But so again, they trailed by as much as 17 points. They were down by 11 at halftime, 42-31. Denzel Aberdeen. We talk about someone being a leader. If it's not Ortega, like before it was Malachi, now it's not. Who's it going to be? It's the guy that they brought here to lead separately from Ortega. That's Denzel Aberdeen. He had 22 points, team high 22 points in that game. 18 of them came in the second half. And as a whole, Kentucky shot 46% from deep on 24 shots. They went 11 for 24, which is unreal compared to where this team was
obviously
literally
not
a month
perfect,
ago.
But perfect for me, man. I'll take that.
That is good enough to win games.
I'll take that 365 days out of the year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I really do think that winning at Tennessee was also just another major confidence booster.
Yeah.
I mean,
moral victory, 100%.
I mean, it's not just a win at home against a random kind of crappy team.
Yeah.
Number 24 Tennessee on the road. I mean, I guess you could say they got their lick back from last season.
Yeah, you could say so.
It's regular season, but hey, second ranked win of the season. They are now, I think that's their third quad one win. I think they're 3-5
Yeah.
in quad one games now. So that was massive going forward for them.
Yeah, 100%. And like we were talking about, just more of the confidence booster. Like Colin Chandler in the postgame, he's like, "We love playing here, man. We love playing down here."
I was like, "Ooh, that's tough."
Which is
that's
like,
tough.
oh man, it's nice to see that guys are starting to gain more confidence in themselves and where they're playing and who they're playing and what this team can be. And so I guess that takes us into the game tonight.
Yeah, no, tonight against Texas. The Cats got Texas tonight. I don't know what it's going to be like later. We woke up this morning. My first class got canceled. It was like,
did it really?
Yeah, it did.
Nice.
My 10 to 10:50. I was like, damn, all right, this is perfect.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of a blizzard going on, but we know BBN.
Kentucky blizzard.
Kentucky blizzard. I'm from New Jersey, New Hampshire.
Yeah.
We know what a real blizzard looks like.
Yeah.
But here there's somewhat of a blizzard.
There's about 1.5 inches on the ground.
Yeah.
But it's fine.
But I think around 2 to 4. There's supposed to be a little bit more. I don't really know what that means in terms of Kentucky snow. But so nonetheless, BBN's going to show up, especially now that they've gotten these wins under their belt. They're on a 3-game winning streak. Texas is led by Dalen Swain, averaging 15.7 points and 7.2 boards, along with 3.3 assists. UK comes in on a 3-game win streak, while the Longhorns have dropped 3 of their last 5. And aside from that, Texas is scoring 86.3 points per game, UK scoring 82.9 points per game. Texas allows 74.4 per game. UK allows 70.2 per game. So honestly, like when you look at these stats, it's kind of like similar in a way that they both put up in between like 82 to 86. They both allow in between 70 and 74. I think the only advantage for UK in this, aside from statistical and all that, is that it's in Rupp Arena.
Yeah, but I think that's going to be huge. But the thing I look at, or the thing I see when I look at Texas, is the win over Vanderbilt, the win over Alabama.
You know, Texas is...
Yeah, and it's like, you know, they've lost some random games to some, I mean, not horrible teams, but not great teams like Texas A&M, Mississippi State. But, you know, lost to Tennessee. Obviously, Cats just got Tennessee, but Alabama beat the heck out of Kentucky. You know what I mean? Vanderbilt.
They won at
that'll
Alabama
be later,
too,
but
at Coleman Coliseum.
Exactly. So it's like they can walk into your trap, take over your trap, or whatever they say. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's exactly what they say.
They can do it. And so, I mean, cannot be something that they just look past. Obviously, all the SEC teams, I think they shouldn't just look past. But this especially, with the momentum they're starting to build, the confidence they're starting to build, the identity they're starting to build. If they let Texas walk into Rupp and wipe the floor or even get a 5-point win, fans are just going to be right back into the hole they were in 2 weeks ago. So this is a huge, huge game. Yeah,
I mean, you talk about adversity, and Kentucky went through hell in the beginning of the season. They finally, and we're going to touch on this in a second, they get that 4-game win streak before the winter break, 2026, before they go into Bama and host Mizzou. But they go through this adversity. They finally build something up. Then they lose a few games. Now they got some serious momentum. And there's no way I could see Kentucky being like, oh, it's just Texas or it's just this team. We did see that in the beginning, though, I mean, against some other opponents. But for what they went through and how they literally dragged themselves out of it and got to this point, I just don't see any way that they would just be like, oh, it's just Texas. It's just, it's not a good team. It's not someone that's really a threat to come in here, because like 2 or 3 games ago, or 3 games ago, they got smoked by Mizzou at home. So it's like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
So, but I don't think that that's going to be an issue at all.
I agree.
And if it is, that's just a whole separate debacle in itself that's going to have to get figured out.
That would be a whole separate issue, because I do feel like at this point in the season and where we are and when the roller coaster that this team has had together, that you would think that their mindset has completely shifted to what they look forward to in their next opponent. So I think that they don't look at it like this is just, because I look at who was it, Bellarmine?
Yeah.
When they came in and let Bellarmine drop 90 or whatever almost on them.
99-85.
Yeah, it's like, are we for real? Like, I know that it's a big win.
That
but
does matter, though.
But exactly, it does matter. That's a home game, you know what I mean? Like, you can't let teams come in and drop that many points on you in a home game.
Yep. So if that was anyone else, they probably wouldn't have put up 99 points.
No, 100%.
So that could have been a completely different result.
Exactly. I mean, if that was an SEC game, they would have lost by 15.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
it's a whole different story, but I do think that it's just really think, their mindset has really shifted, and they're at a place now where they can look at these matchups and say nothing's going to be easy and nothing's going to be given to us.
Yeah, I mean, Big Blue Nation can only hope that that's what they're thinking, but I seriously do think that's what they are.
It's what it feels like.
About.
It's at least what it feels
different.
like. Yeah.
It doesn't feel like they're going to go into any game now and just not give it their best. I mean, they may in the first half. I mean, we have been seeing that, but it's not that they weren't giving their best.
Just wasn't quite clicking.
Literally just night and day. Like, they have the same shots as they do in the first half and the second half. Air ball hit just the backboard in the first half, and the next half they're just draining them. It's just, hey, it doesn't make sense to me, but win's a win.
A win's a win, exactly.
Let me ask you this, though. So Kentucky got a 4-game win streak. Then 2026, they had that 10-day break. They go to Alabama, they lose. They host Mizzou, they lose. Do you think that if there wasn't that 10-day break in there, kind of a momentum killer, do you think Kentucky would have played Alabama and Mizzou better? Because now they're on a 3-game winning streak. We'll see what happens tonight, but they have a chance to earn some serious, go on a serious winning streak here. So do you think without that 10-day break, we would have been having a different conversation?
I think it's tough to call because I think regardless, they probably would have dropped that game to Alabama.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
agree with that one
so
for sure.
I think it's hard to be like, oh man, that momentum would have carried them down into Alabama for a win in Tuscaloosa. That's a tough one to say.
Alabama.
Exactly.
Still their offense. Still Coleman Coliseum.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Mizzou, on the other hand, I think so. Yeah, I think if it was a 5-game difference or whatever, or 5-day difference, whatever, between the two, and then 3 days later you pick up and go to Mizzou, or Mizzou comes here, and you play them at home, and you're in a different mindset already. I think because you have 10 days to disconnect a little bit. Obviously they're still practicing and getting training, whatever, but it's like, you're not in that game-to-game scenario anymore where you're playing 2 games a week. So I think if they were still in that that process, that routine of playing teams very often, yeah, I think so. But I do think that also there has just been something that changed after the LSU game.
Yeah.
And I will see how it continues. Obviously, we've only had one game since really to see. But I think during whatever was said at halftime of LSU was like a pinnacle moment to where we are moving up to.
Because that wasn't just like a crappy first half. They went in down. Like, they got smoked in that first half. They were
they looked horrible.
They actually looked like the beginning of the year team that literally just showed up just because they were told they had to.
It wasn't like we're just like missing shots or whatever, but it was like we don't know how to run an offense right now.
Yeah, exactly. They were doing like the pass around the perimeter.
Yeah, and it's like why don't we move? Like why don't
it's like the
not do 5 out every single possession.
It's like the meme where the guy's just like pointing at the TV.
Yeah.
It's like was it Leonardo DiCaprio? That was me, dude. I'm like, dude, like he's open. They're like,
pass
set
the
a
ball.
pick, roll. Like, come on.
No, seriously.
But no, nonetheless, though, they got it figured out. So I guess we'll close off with the Ole Miss, Ole Miss preview. Kentucky plays Ole Miss. So tonight they got Texas. They play Ole Miss Saturday at noon o'clock. God damn. They play at 12 o'clock. They play at noon. I do think there's supposed to be a legit blizzard that day.
Yes.
I'm not a weatherman. Don't per Tyler Russell from the Field of 68.
No, seriously, please.
But I do think that there's going to be a lot of snow, so that honestly could play a little bit of a factor.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, it's BBN. They'll be there. Malik Diaz is leading the Rebels with 13.6 points per game and 6.8 boards per game. So last night, Ole Miss lost to Auburn, and Malik Diaz only played 14 minutes. Went on Twitter, checked out all the Ole Miss stuff. No one really knows why that happened because he is their best player, and he's averaging 24.7 minutes per game. So I think that Ole Miss probably won't have a game before Kentucky. They had their 1 weekday game. They got a weekend one.
Yeah,
if you want to just confirm that.
Yeah, let me check out on that real quick.
But if they lose, they lost to Auburn. So, and Malik D only played 14 minutes. So they're going to have to, that's
it's Auburn
no
and
good
then,
momentum.
And then us. So,
okay. Yeah, so he's coming off of a game where he only played 14 minutes. That's 10 minutes less than what he averages. So maybe there's a little bit of non-confidence going into Rupp Arena. And, depending on the snowstorm, Rupp Arena could be crazy. And, for Malik Dia, I mean, he's a veteran player. He's a little bit older. So it's going to be different. But I do think Kentucky will be able to, jump on that quickly now that he's maybe got a little less confidence.
Yeah, definitely. And some things that I noticed when we were looking at Ole Miss and what they've done this season is that 6 of their 8 losses are to unranked teams and not like bubble top 25 teams like
Miami,
just like bad teams, man. So when you look at this squad and you see, all right, cool, they beat Georgia in overtime by 2, great win, whatever. They played well against Auburn, but ended up losing pretty bad. But NC State lost, Miami lost, Utah lost, St. John's, who has been all over the place this season, that's a loss. And I mean, we'll
count that as like a decent loss just because it was Kentucky's first ranked win.
Yeah,
so.
but they only scored 58 against St. John's, 58 points. Yeah. So obviously this team has something going on where they're not very consistent. So I think it'll be interesting to see. I think Kentucky will handle them pretty easily.
I think they're going to jump all over them from the go.
Yeah, I think it'll be maybe not one of those games where they start off horrible and then pick it up at halftime. At
least 35 minutes of good basketball.
Yeah, we might
give a 5-minute grace period.
Yeah, we'll let them wake up a little bit. It's a noon game, you know what I mean? It's a little bit of a different environment. But the big storyline here, really, for most Kentucky fans, is the homecoming of Travis Perry, former Mr. Kentucky basketball in 2024, plays freshman season in Pope's first year at Kentucky, transferred out to Ole Miss after that freshman season. He averaged 2.7 points, 0.8 rebounds, and 0.6 assists in less than 10 minutes a game at Kentucky. So fans weren't really mad about his departure, we can say, but more so the fact that he was a Kentucky guy and whatever. But he's starting to pick it up a little bit now at Ole Miss, averaging about 6 points, 1.2 rebounds, and 1 assist, and more minutes, getting about 6 minutes more per game. So it's good to see that he's getting the time that he wanted and the more experience, more minutes off the bench. But I don't think he's going to come in and have like a 35-point game and blast Kentucky out of the gym.
I don't think this is like his legacy return game.
No, but like, you never know, man.
Comes back to
you never know. No, that would be awesome.
Listen, I don't really have any hard feelings against Travis Perry.
Me neither.
I think a lot of Big Blue Nation doesn't either because, one, he's a Kentucky kid.
Yeah.
But two, last year he only played 9.8 minutes, averaged 2.7 points. It's like, well, all right, F this guy. Like, what is he doing? Like we don't want him coming in.
Yeah.
But you didn't really need him that much because last year's squad was deep and they were also older. So, I mean, Lamont Butler was injured a lot. But, hey, Travis had his time here. And I was a fan of him. I liked watching him. I don't really think it's going to be like, Chad Baker Mazar, like heading if they were going back to Auburn.
Yeah,
it's not going to be like a
It's
or like
not going to be
Holloway
like
transferring from Auburn to Alabama. It's like
that's
you can't do that.
That's a tough jump.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see this go down. Like I said, I don't think it'll be like he's going to be a major threat, but it is going to be nice to see him return to Rupp.
Yeah. Would have been nice to have him on the roster now, though.
Yeah, honestly,
with
J-Lo out. Honestly, like hit a little trade. Like, it's like the NBA game. Like you get traded mid-game, you just stay
slide
there.
him like Zach Tao.
Give him 2 walk-ons for him.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, guys, Kentucky's got a 3-game win streak. Tonight they got Texas. This weekend they got Ole Miss.
It was a real shot to make it 5.
Yeah,
real
they
shot
have a
to
really
make it
good
5.
chance. Before we sign off, we're going to do some predictions for tonight.
Yeah.
I'm going to go UK 81-73.
Okay. Yeah.
What about you?
Give me UK 86, Texas 78.
Got it. That's a good one. I think 86 is honestly for a chance. They don't score like a lot of points, but for a chance tonight against Texas, who's not bad. But I just have a really good feeling Kentucky's going to put up some good numbers.
I feel good about the game tonight. I feel good about how Kentucky feels about their offense right now too, especially about how much they've been clicking. And
they put up 80 at Tennessee.
Exactly. So
it's
possible.
not a number they've reached a lot, but again, they're winning. So.
No, I think they could do it.
Saturday, Ole Miss, I do think is going to be like a little bit of an easier one for UK. So I'm going to go up to that 80s as well. I'm going to say like 85-73.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
What was that, 12-point win?
Yeah. I think it's going to be. I think they're going to put like numbers they did up against Mississippi State against Ole Miss.
Yeah,
I think it'll be.
I
can
see that.
I think it'll be like give me like 90-75.
Dude, I hope.
I think
because I love these big wins because it just builds so much. It's not just a win, but if you like beat someone by 15-20,
and then you go into Vanderbilt,
winning 2 games in 1.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
awesome.
And then you go down to Vanderbilt in like a primetime game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's gonna be a good one. Yeah. So they're in the right spot right now. We'll see where they go. But that's it from us here at the Rupp Report. One more time, we appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm Tyler Russell. This is Israel Schill, and we'll check back in with you guys.